Giants defense has boasted linebackers second to none. For years, it was Lawrence Taylor and Harry Carson. Now they've been joined by Carl Banks. Offensively, it's been the phenomenal running of Joe Morris that's gained the Giants a share of the NFC East lead as they seek to knock off their fifth straight division opponent. It was Buddy Ryan who boldly predicted his Eagles would win the NFC East. He inherited a defense led by Reggie White that would be the cornerstone of the team. But things haven't quite worked out for Philadelphia. Their record is 3-6. They've allowed the most sacks in the NFL, and frustration has replaced confidence. Buddy may be out of prediction. At first, they experimented on each other. Then Bill Parcells became their target. Now the New York Giants have developed an art form they can call their own. CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today it's the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles live at sold-out Veterans Stadium. Weather conditions, temperature 64, it's cloudy. Rain is a possibility. It's been raining most of the day already. The Eastern Division standings, Washington has won today. They are 8-2 and 2-2 in the division. The Giants 4-1 within the division, trying to beat the Eagles to get today. The Cowboys 6-3 and 5-1 in the East. So this is indeed a very important game for the Giants and all the rest of those involved. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall. When you talk about the Giants, there are two words, I think, or two phrases that come to your mind this week particularly. One, a letdown against the Eagles. Two, are we using Joe Morris too much? With me, of course, is John Madden. And, John, I ask your opinion and your answer to those two questions.
Well, of course, Joe Morris has had two remarkable games in a row. He gained 181 yards against the Redskins, then came back and gained another 181 yards last week against Dallas. And I don't think Joe Morris thinks he can keep that up. Bill Parcells doesn't. The whole Giant team doesn't. And they know that eventually they're going to have to get some more passing, because what's starting to happen is the defense are going to tighten up on it. They're going to start putting 8 and 9 men up on the line of scrimmage. Now, Bill Parcells knows that, and he says today, he said, we have to start out throwing. We have to loosen up that defense.
In the first meeting between these two teams up at Giant Stadium, the Giants just overpowered the Eagles. Buddy Ryan said he was embarrassed. What is he going to do about that?
Well, you know what he felt? He felt that once the Giants got ahead, that a lot of his guys didn't fight anymore. So he said, today I'm going to get the toughest guys I got. They made a lot of lineup changes, and he said, we're going to have tough guys out there. He said, we're going to go to war with these guys. Now, that's on one hand. Then on the other hand, he's saying that you have to pass the ball to beat the Giants. Of course, the Eagles lead the league in being sacked. They've been sacked 46 times. So what they want to do is they want to go out there and be tough, and they want to go out there and throw the ball, but the big question is going to be, can they pass protect against the Giants?
And we'll have a look at that, because the Giants will receive Paul McFadden's kickoff. Phil McConkey and Mark Collins back deep. McFadden, one of the barefoot breed of kickers, standing back at the 35. Wind is against him, or so it would appear. You never can tell in a stadium like this. Short kick, it'll be Mark Collins at the 5. And hit just outside the 20. As the Eagles do a good job on special teams. Jody Schultz, the first man down. Those of you who watched the Redskins improve their record to 8-2, welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where you just missed the opening kickoff. This will be the first offensive series, and Phil Simms will look at that Philadelphia defense. Reggie White, Ken Clark, and the others up front, Cobb, Reichenbach, and Seth Joyner starting at outside linebacker. Young, Cooper, Waters, and Hogue, the secondary. First and 10 Giants they give to Morris right off the bat. And Morris is hit just shy of the 25 by Mike Reichenbach. The Giant receivers and offensive backs. Morris just carried. Simms, of course, the quarterback. Maurice Carthen, a dynamic blocker. Solomon Miller and Bobby Johnson start outside. Up front, Benson Oates, Godfrey, and Nelson, and the tight end, Mark Bavaro. Second and 7. Phil McConkey, split wide to the right. Bobby Johnson wide left. fakes to Morris, goes upfield, hits Navarro, and has it bounce away from his tight end. Gary Cobb was the closest Eagle, but that's a pass that could have been successful.
Well, I think Phil Simms needs that as much as anyone, Pat, because with the passing not going well, with all the injuries, Phil Simms has lost a lot of confidence.
Last week's game didn't do a lot to build that confidence. Lowest full game total since 1979. They only completed 6 passes. As John Madden said, Joe Morris had one of his big days. 3rd down and 7 from the 25. Tony Galbraith back by Simms. Simms outside incomplete. McConkey broke it in. Simms threw it out. Reggie White put the pressure on Simms and knocked him down. This guy is some player and going to get better.
You know, Buddy Ryan says of all the defensive linemen he's ever coached in his life, this guy's the best. He said he has more ability than any, and he had guys like Carl Eller and Alan Page and all those guys, plus the guys at Chicago.
Dan Hampton and group and Richard Dent. Landetta back to punt for the Giants. Garrity back deep for the Eagles. Good kick by Sean Landetta. At the 26, Gary fumbles. Gets away from one man and now breaks out of the pack. And Garrity to the Eagle 44, taken down by Zeke Mowat. How about this one? And welcome those of you who watched the New Orleans Saints shut out the Rams 6-0. Welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Score is 0-0 here. Pat Summerall with John Madden. The Giants failed on their first offensive series. Failed to pick up a first down, that is, and now the Eagles take over at their own 46 after a good return by Garrity. Crawford and Haddix behind Jaworski. Outside to Haddix. Got one block almost. Reasons, however, made the tackle after a gain of 3. Mark Collins up to help out. The Giant defense, second best in the NFL. Martin, Burton, Marshall up front. 4 outstanding linebackers, Banks, Reasons, Carson, and Lawrence Taylor. And in the secondary, Collins and Williams on the corners, Hill and Kennard are the safety man, make it 2nd and 6. They had 4 on that first down completion. 2 tight end offense, and they give the ball to Crawford, and Crawford has no place to go. A loss of 1. Reasons was the first man there. The Eagle offense, Ron Jaworski, the quarterback. The running backs, Crawford and Haddix. Mike Quick and Kenny Jackson, 2 good outside receivers. Up front, Conwell, Hayden, and Darwin, all making starts for the first time. Baker and Mitchell on the right side, and John Spagnuolo is the tight end, 3rd and 7. Burt. Jaworski out of the shotgun, going deep for Jackson, batted away. Mark Collins, and he had deep help.
Yeah, I tell you, I think everyone looks at Mark Collins, the rookie defensive back for the Giants. They're always going to want to go to work on him early. I think because of that, he keeps getting better every week.
If they keep testing you, that's the best way I know about to improve. There was a penalty marker dropped against the Eagles, refused by the Giants, so Telchik will punt.
Does he have his shoe on or off? He has it on. You know, he's been a guy who's been barefoot, then gone to the shoe, then back to barefoot. Now he's back to the shoe.
Now he's got the shoe on. McConkey standing back in his own 10. Signaling fair catch and fielding it at the 19. The Jets in the 4th quarter beating Atlanta and establishing themselves as perhaps the outstanding team in the league. That's in the 4th quarter. New England having trouble with the Indianapolis Colts, but still winning. Buffalo beat Pittsburgh. Good start for Marv Levy. Kansas City 27-7 over Seattle, and Cincinnati and Houston 29-21 Oilers. And Minnesota getting stronger and stronger, winning. The Bears 23-3 over Tampa Bay, and that should bring you up to date. Two tight end offense for the Giants. Morris to his left and outside, and around the corner is Joe Morris. Knocked out of bounds by Evan Cooper. A gain of 19. A lot of Giant fans on hand.
You know, the tough thing is you say you don't want to run Morris as much as you do, but look at the results when you do it. I'll tell you, Maurice Carthon came through there and got a great lead block for him. Morris was right behind him and then bounced out. But you know, when you keep gaining yardage like that, when you run the guy, why not do it?
It's hard not to. Look at what he's done in the last 2 weeks, not including today. 66% of the Giants' offense has been the running of Joe Morris.
The amazing thing is everyone's keying on him.
There he goes again. This time they keyed correctly. Clark, no gain, and Reggie Singletary were the two Eagles who made the stop.
They have some big guys in that front. You know, they use a front four. They have Greg Brown and Reggie Singletary, who is a rookie, playing along with Ken Clark, the 9-year veteran, and Reggie White, who, as Buddy Ryan says, could be the next dominant defensive player in this league.
This time the Giants split Morris out wide to the right. And Carthon is behind Sims. Still back to throw. Down the middle, incomplete, intended for Bavaro. Flag is down.
You know, one of the problems that Sims is having, I think when he lost Lionel Manuel, and then he lost Stacy Robinson, and he's playing with a rookie Solomon Miller, Bobby Johnson isn't giving him, you know, what he's given in the past. I think he's kind of given up on the outside receivers, and he's just looking inside all the time.
Fred Wyatt, the referee.
Illegal use of the hands to the face, number 92, first down.
There's Reggie White, number 92.
He's right there. You know, he starts out against Carl Nelson, and then his hand starts in the shoulder pads, then works up to the face mask. Well, that's a tough one. Yeah, you know, because when you take a big arm like that and you rip it up like that, you don't know where it's going to stop. I mean, it may stop at the shoulder pad, but it may go up to the helmet.
And that's exactly what happened then, all the way up to the face mask. John Madden almost lost his watch. Morris, the ball carrier, up close to midfield. A gain of 5. Terry Hogue, who's been a pleasant acquisition for the Eagles, made the stop.
Buddy Ryan was saying when Terry Hogue became available from the Saints, they waived him. He brought him in here, and he was questioning his speed, and he said he timed him himself in 4.62. He said, that's enough for me.
That's quick enough. 2nd and 6, and it's Morris again. Hit behind the line of scrimmage by Seth Joyner, a rookie from UTEP.
Well,
No
you know,
gain.
he's playing in the place of Alonzo Johnson, who was a rookie. Buddy Ryan says, we got some guys in there like this Seth Joyner. They'll run around and hit you, and they can tackle. He said they're a little young, and they don't really know the game yet, but at least they'll fight you.
Buddy said we want some of those barroom guys in there that know what fighting is about. 3rd and 6. Sims out of the spread. Gets it to Bavaro. On the bounce, it's incomplete. Gary Cobb was an Eagle defender.
You notice what we were talking about earlier, Pat, how Sims has looked every time at Bavaro, or the guy in the middle. I don't even know when he drops back if he's even looking to the outside guys. But I'll tell you, in a zone defense, that can really bring the whole defense into the middle.
Garrity standing back for Landetta's punt. He might let it fly. And it flies into the end zone. They'll start from their own 20. 52-yard punt by Sean Landetta went into the Eagle end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20.
Let's look at that last play, and we can see Sims here. You see, He's from the shotgun. Bavaro's right there in the middle. You see, he's watching Bavaro all the way. Now, I think that somewhere you got to be able to see the whole field. I'm not saying he had anyone open outside, but I think he's lost confidence in that outside. And the only thing that he has confidence in is the tight end and the stuff in the middle.
Those of you who watched the Vikings improve their record with that 24-10 victory. It's 0-0 with 9:55 left to play in the first quarter at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. It's the Eagles and the Giants. That was Haddix in motion. Jaworski back to throw. Doesn't have time. Finally is down in the grasp of Harry Carson, who was the first man on the scene, and then Leonard Marshall made sure.
We see what Lawrence Taylor did is he came over to the same side of Carl Banks. Now he has his two linebackers on that side. So now that makes a running back have to block against Lawrence Taylor. And there's no way that they can do it. Now, Buddy Ryan thinks that Haddix can do it, but if Lawrence Taylor is coming with no help, Michael Haddix or no other back can block him.
Not when he has a run at you like that. Second down and 15. The ball is back at the Eagle 15. Jaworski trying to throw again. Marshall is loose. Screen pass to junior Tartalatasi. He spins out to about the 25. A gain of 10. Collins on the stop.
Tartalatasi was one of the big surprises for this team in training camp. Remember, he came in here, a rookie from Washington State. They bring him in, and he has the best yardage and the best preseason of any of the running backs, and he starts the first game.
Surprises me that both of us can pronounce it. 8:45 left in the first quarter. 3rd and 6. The ball at the 24. Bobby Duckworth, newly acquired by the Eagles, lined up in the slot. Jaworski has time. Pass intended for Duckworth, incomplete. Collins and Elvis Patterson were the Giant defenders. And the Eagles will have to punt again.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the first part of this game has been a draw where Buddy says that they have to pass and they have to pass protect. And I think they've done a pretty good job at it. I mean, they've gotten there and they've pecked around Jaworski, but he's been able to get some off.
McConkey back deep for the Giants. Telchik will punt. McConkey will have a chance with this one. Makes a good catch. And down are the Eagles quickly. McConkey gets back to the 35. Set Joyner down to make the stop. And the Giants will take over at their own 35. A 49-yard punt by Telchik. McConkey with a good catch returned it 8 yards. 0-0 the score. 8:18 left to play in the first quarter. Giants out quickly, ready to go. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Miller and Johnson both are wide left now. Solomon Miller comes in motion. And Sims fakes. Fire. Incomplete. Picked off. The Eagles get the rebound. Andre Waters comes up with it. Intended for Bobby Johnson. Deflected by Evan Cooper.
Here Sims is going to go to an outside receiver. Watch Bobby Johnson here. He works back. He was working to the inside, and the ball was thrown to the outside. That was one of those things that the receiver was running one pattern, the quarterback was reading the other, and Andre Waters came up with the ball.
The Bears defeated Tampa Bay 23-3. Those of you who watched that Bear victory, welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. It's 0-0 here. First quarter. The Eagles just got the interception, and they send Crawford straight ahead. You got about 3 reasons made the stop.
You were talking about Buddy Ryan, talking about tough guys, and he said this guy is one of them here, Charles Crawford. He said he's one of those guys from Oklahoma. He says he knows what a barroom fight is. Yeah, we talked that Tartalatasi started the season. Then Keith Byers, their #1 draft choice, started, and now it's Crawford.
New England beat Indianapolis. Those other scores still in progress. 2nd and 7 here. Taylor over on the left side again. And sent it back to try to block him. Slowed him down. He got some help. Let's see how they handle it. I think an offensive tackle came out and helped
Well, you
out.
see, he's coming from the right side. You see, here he starts here. Haddix is trying to block him. Mitchell comes off his block, Leonard Mitchell, and he ends up putting Taylor on the ground. But that's the way you have to do it. You have to get a big lineman on Lawrence Taylor, or 2 guys. You know, let the back, then let a lineman come off, or some combination of that.
3rd and 7.
Taylor saying, I didn't see that Mitchell coming at me.
One of the Eagles is saying he has the look of a tiger in his eye, Lawrence Taylor. He's on the right side this time. And coming again. Jaworski gets it outside to Talatasi. And he'll have a Philadelphia first down inside the Giant 30. And a gain of 11.
I'll tell you one thing. You have the idea that early in this game that the Eagles are coming out here to fight the Giants. You know, that they're going to give that second effort. They're going to give that gang tackling. They're going to give that, you know, that second, third effort in the trenches, that type of thing.
That'll make it 1st and 10 Eagles. 6:40 left to play. First quarter. They're at the Giant 28. Hand off to Haddix. And Haddix gets down to about the 25.
I'll tell you, you got to get movement on that nose tackle in there. Jim Burt did a good job against Matt Darwin on that play.
San Francisco with Joe Montana starting at quarterback with the early lead over St. Louis. Dallas leads the Raiders 3-0. Those games started at the same time we did. 2nd and 7, a gain of 3. Interception of a Phil Simms deflected pass got the Eagles close to Giant territory, and now they're trying to take advantage. Crawford hit by Collins, knocked out of bounds, no gain. As active and as big, John, as those Giant linebackers are, and as strong as those front 3 in that 3-4 setup are, it is very difficult to run against that defensive unit. Look at what happened in the last couple of games. 7 out of 12 times they scored inside the opponent's 30. But only 3 of them were touchdowns. 3rd and 7. Just missed him. Welch. Herb Welch on the coverage.
I tell you, the thing is, Lawrence Taylor, we're going to see him coming from the outside, giving some pressure here. That's tackled Joe Conwell, trying to block him. Then he couldn't block him. He went for the hold and then the tackle. But I think the encouraging thing for the Eagles is that Ron Jaworski has been able to get the ball off. Last time he played the Giants, he said, was the worst beating he's ever taken in his life.
We had to rest a while. From 42 yards away, McFadden with Jaworski holding. It'll get there. However, it's not straight enough. No good. And the Giants will take over. So with 5:39 left to play in the first quarter, still no points on the board by either team.
Listen to the heartbeat.
Back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. 0-0. The rematch between the Giants and the Eagles after the Giants up at Giants Stadium just overpowered Philadelphia in their first match. Phil Simms, the quarterback. McConkey and Johnson both split wide to the left. Giants have not scored a touchdown in the first quarter. Only 9 points all year long. Sims back to throw. Going for Bavaro, and he's got it and lost it. That is incomplete.
I tell you, Bavaro is having trouble as a pass receiver. Look at this, he runs a good pass pattern, gets beyond, he has a linebacker there having to cover him man-to-man. He gets past him, Gary Cobb, makes a catch, gets it in his hands, bobbles it, and it goes outside. Remember the same thing happened last week against Dallas. Watch Phil Simms, he wants something to get him started.
And he wants something up the field, deep.
I don't think he's ever gone through a period like this where he's had this many problems.
I can't remember it. He's 0 for 5. Second and 10 from the 25. Sims back again. Has some time. And has Solomon Miller. He is dragged down for first down. Outside the 42. First down Giants. Now, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Pat and John, enjoy this moment. It's a great one this year. Joe Montana is back. 45 yards, Jerry Rice, touchdown, 49ers. And they now lead 10-0. Let's go back to Pat and John.
That is truly amazing, the recovery of Joe Montana. Really a tribute to his diligence in that recuperative period. He really worked hard at it. Sims back to throw again. We've got to go deep, he said. That's a gain of only 3. Joe Morris, the receiver, stopped by Ronell Young.
You know, I think what they're trying to do is just get some passing in the game so that the Eagles today just can't line up there and get 8-9 men on the line of scrimmage, and the opponents that they play in the future can't do it. Because what you do in a short yardage or goal line, you like to get 9-10 men up there. But like Buddy Ryan says, if all they want to do is run, they're just running a goal line offense, and we'll play them in a goal line defense.
Second down and 7. Sims again. Complete again to Morris, who stays on his feet, and Joe Morris gets inside the Eagle 35 to the 33 before it's Ronell Young who brings him down. A gain of 22.
Well, I'll tell you, that's one way to get the ball outside and get it to Joe Morris at the same time. First of all, it starts off with good pass protection. We see Reggie White got there right at the end. Now here's Joe Morris split out. He's out there like a wide receiver. See, and then he runs an out pattern, catches the ball right there. Now watch the move that he makes. He can make those same moves out wide as a wide receiver as he makes going through a line. Look at that water fly. Do you see that water fly at the end?
You don't realize on this turf that it's been raining all day just about in Philadelphia. It's very wet. Roussan has replaced Morris. Sims is going to take off. Sims down for another Giant first down. Ken Clark finally tripped him up. But Phil Simms on a scramble got 11.
You know, you can just look at Phil Simms' eyes there, and you can see the confidence coming back now. He hits Solomon Miller in the middle. Then he hits Joe Morris outside. Now he's looking, he scrambles, and he runs around and picks up a first down. I think for his confidence, he needed those 3 plays in a row more than anything.
And as you said, you could almost see it in his eyes when we had that close-up shot. Giants 5 first downs now. Down at the Eagle 22. Morris gets the call. Outside and tripped up. Andre Waters up to force in a hurry.
Yeah, we were talking about Andre Waters, and Buddy Ryan says so far this year he's been their MVP. You'll see number 20, Andre Waters, coming up to tackle Joe Morris. He's one of those guys who just loves to tackle. In fact, he's so aggressive that he has to keep himself back. He has to hold back.
Good play by Reggie White, too. Knocked Bavaro backwards and cut off Billy Ard coming around the corner. Morris is out there by himself. Here's Sims back to throw on second. Down he goes from behind. Greg Brown, and Sims never saw him coming. First sack.
we'll see what happens here. We're going to just stop it when he's ready to throw and see what he gets right here. See, right now, here's Sims ready to throw the ball. Now you can see that he doesn't have anything here. He doesn't have anything here. There's no cut here yet. So he has to hold it, and he gets caught from behind. He almost gets caught from the front there. But that's going to be Reggie White there in the front. And see, he has to hold it, because there's no one open down there. So it's not always the line's fault. Sometimes the receivers just aren't open.
That brings up a 3rd and 16 situation. The Giants go with 4 wide receivers, and now Sims calls a timeout. Vince, Warren, and McConkey had joined the starters so they could go with 4. Sims didn't like it, and we have a timeout.
Aggressor 10.
We're at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Pat Summerall and John Madden. Nothing with a minute 25 left to play in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 16. No score as yet. Phil Sims has a little strawberry on the chin.
I think that could be left over from last week, didn't he? I think he had one of those last week that maybe just reopened.
Now they've got the formation they want. Navarro lined up to Sims' right. Galbraith to his left. Navarro comes back in to block. They go quickly in the direction of McConkey, and the ball bounced off Elbert, foul. Incomplete. And we'll have a look at Allegre.
Hey, we see the rush here. You see what they like to do, the Eagles, is get that big push up the middle, cover those guys, and then bring the linebacker. That was Gary Cobb coming from the outside that got to Sims as he threw the ball. But they like to cover those inside guys, push in the quarterback's face, and then bring the linebackers from the outside.
With Rutledge holding, Allegre will try from 46 yards out. Certainly got enough, but it's wide right and no good, and so both teams have missed makeable field goals. Nothing, a minute 16 left first quarter.
That 3rd down blitz. See what happened? Here's Gary Cobb. He's going to come now. Bavaro is here, who could block him. He's looking over here. He comes over here, and then there's no one for Cobb. Watch Bavaro, 89. He's looking, he comes across, and then boom, here comes Cobb from the backside.
Michael Haddix, the lone setback. Jaworski, the quarterback. Haddix down to Spagnola. Spagnola gets to about the Giant 48. Kenny Hill, a tackle, an Eagle first down. A flag is down.
Looks like it's going to be holding against the Eagles. Against Leonard Marshall, that'd probably be Joe Conwell holding him.
Number 63, first down.
Called against Ron Baker. Who doesn't believe it? I didn't do it.
He's the only real veteran there. He's been there 9 years. The center, left guard, and left tackle are all starting for the first time, the first year.
1st and 20. The ball back at the Eagles 18 with a minute 5 left in the first quarter. Long count. Just got it off. Jaworski high over the head of Spagnola. Kenny Hill again on the coverage.
We talk about that offensive line. Joe Conwell, Nick Hayden starting for his first time today, center Matt Darwin. But they're doing a pretty good job of pass protection because Jaworski is getting the ball off. You know, they had a big overload in the middle that time. Boom, they picked it all up and let him take a shot at it. That Conwell, 79 there, he played in college with Lawrence Taylor, North Carolina. He remembers Taylor. He said, man, he was something there. He said, he's just gotten better.
2nd and 20. Jaworski back again. Trying a screen pass, gets it to Tartalatasi, who gets a block. Somebody took Kennard down, but Tartalatasi makes up all the lost yardage. Elvis Patterson knocked him out of bounds, but the Eagles get a first.
I tell you, Tartalatasi makes a great move here by waiting for a screen. Watch him. He gets the ball out here. Now he's in front of a screen there. You see him wait. Now he slows down. Now he lets the screen. Baker get out in front. Baker gets the block on Kennard, and that was the one that broke him for the first down. But he let his guy get out there.
That's just good running.
Well, Ron Baker was the guy who had the penalty that brought the play back. Then he was the guy who got the block that sprung it to get the yardage back.
And it's first down Eagles at their own 45. Jaworski in a hurry to Quick. Maybe 4. Elvis Patterson up. Call it a gain of 5 and make it 2nd and 5. It might be the last play of the first quarter.
Elvis Patterson is in there now for Mark Collins. I don't know if he just replaced him or if there was an injury to Collins. Of course, Patterson had been the starter, and Collins had started the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Don't believe they'll get this one underway. At the end of 1 at Veterans Stadium, it's the Giants nothing and the Eagles nothing. Nothing as we begin the second quarter right at midfield. There is Mark Collins, the rookie, and his shoulder is the problem. You can see it's his left shoulder. He won't be back, our information is, for the first half, and they'll evaluate at halftime. Elvis Patterson has taken his place at 2nd and 5 midfield. Hand off to Haddix, who spins for just a couple, maybe 3. Reasons and Carson make the stop.
Tell you one thing, you could tell yesterday that this was a determined group, this Eagle group. Buddy Ryan had them in. They just had meetings, and then he called off practice. He said, heck, if we can't do it now, we're not going to be able to do it. He said, I don't want to practice anymore. Their legs are starting to swell up. We're just going to go out and have a war tomorrow.
Quick and Spagnola are split to the right. Jaworski out of the shotgun, a lot of pressure. And down he goes, Leonard Marshall. Second sack by the Giants, and Marshall was there with some company. Andy Hedden, I believe.
Well, there was a bunch of blue jerseys on that one. It looked like that whole left side. Watch the left side of the offense. Someone jumped off sides there. There was movement before, but there Marshall's the first guy. Hedden's underneath it, and Lawrence Taylor was right there on top. You know, it looked like there's some movement there in the middle. Burt's the first guy off, Jim Burt. He gets the first thing. He makes the back take him, and that's probably why Andy Hedden was free.
McConkey standing back deep, waiting to receive Telchik's punt. Block. Eagles pick it up. Jeff Hostetler, number 15, the Giants' 3rd quarterback, was the one who broke through to block it, and the Giants will take over.
He does. He comes from the right side. Watch him. He's the end guy up there in the right side. Comes around. He's getting blocked. He makes a dive. He dove about 5 yards to get to that ball.
That's a heck of an effort for Hostetler. Giants get the turnover. 0-0 still.
Days Chevrolet, AC Delco, the smart parts, and by Canon cameras. They make the tough shots simple.
Well, John, the official word that we get on this block punt. Go ahead.
Well, here's Jeff Hostetler out here. We'll see him here. No one blocks him. He just comes, sprints, starts his dive right here. Boom, gets a thing. Haddix sees him late and comes over. I think they were a guy short on that left side. See, they only had 10 guys in there. They had 3 on the right, and they only had 2 on the left. was still a pretty good dive and block for a quarterback, though.
First block punt of his career. That comes as no surprise.
That could be the first block punt of any quarterback's career.
They say it's not a turnover. The official word is it is a 4-yard punt. Morris trying to get around the outside and gets a couple. Reggie White led the Eagle defense. A gain of 3. Final score. Houston beats Cincinnati by 4.
Those are the things that kill you as a coach. You know, you go out there and you have a pretty good game going, and then they put a quarterback in there to block a punt, and you only have 10 guys in there, no one to block them.
Second down and 7. 2 tight ends for the Giants from the Eagle 45. To Morris. Pile up after a gain of 1. Ken Clark and Reggie White again.
Yeah, I think we're seeing here with this Eagle defense, we're seeing what happens when a defense just gangs up on your run. In other words, they told us yesterday, what we're going to do is we're going to stop the run. We're going to stop Joe Morris. I saw that guy right there, Reggie White, when he was driving out of the parking lot. I said, how's it look for tomorrow? He says, all we have to do is stop the little guy. That's when you know you're big, is when they don't even call you by name or number, just the little guy.
And when you outweigh the little guy by 100 pounds, you're big too.
You ought to stop it.
Hand off to Galbraith. And he breaks a couple. Flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. The Giants went on a quick count. Terry Hogue and Russell Gary.
Number 63. Third down.
To make the stop. Against the Giants. And they'll bring it all back.
That's against the right tackle, Carl Nelson. That's the thing that helped the Giants last week. Remember Phil Pozderic, the right tackle, moving early. That time it was a Giant right tackle.
Did you ever hear of an offensive tackle or a defensive end, for that matter, in the case of George Martin, getting more recognition or publicity than those two did last week?
Yeah, they were still talking about that one in this morning's paper.
Right. Sims out of the shotgun. Has time for a while. Gets it out to Galbraith. Galbraith might have gotten enough with the last dive for the first down. Picked up 12. Evan Cooper tripped him up, and that is enough.
Well, that's why Tony Galbraith is still on this team. He's the guy. They know he's the third down guy, the pass receiver. As Bill Parcells says, the day before he dies, he's going to make a move on someone coming out of the backfield and catch a pass.
He can still beat somebody coming out of the backfield. They know what he's going to do. They know Sims is going to him, and he still gets open. First down, Giants. Sims in the pocket. Gets it to Bavaro, and Bavaro gets down to about the 22. Reichenbach made the stop after a gain of 15.
You know, you see how things are opening up now. They started going to the outside receivers, started mixing up the pass and run. And now things open up. Bavaro starts to the inside, then works outside against Reichenbach. See, Reichenbach, he put up his arm to hold him. Bavaro just spun right around the hole.
Giant first down at the Eagle 22. Handoff Morris. Morris hit from behind by Seth Joyner. Nevertheless got 4.
Joyner really knifed down in there. He was outside the tackle, and he came in about 3 guys to make that tackle.
It's a big guy, 241.
You know, that's what Buddy Ryan says. He says, you know, he said, I'm saying things about now. In other words, we got to win now, but the things we're doing are for the future, playing young kids.
Like Seth Joyner. Handoff Morris. Back to the inside and into the end zone. Joe Morris. Slung to the ground late, and there goes the flag. Morris way down in the corner, had scored, was in there 8 or 9 yards when he was grabbed by Evan Cooper.
And that's one just out of frustration. There's no way that that should happen.
He was 9-10 yard, almost out of the end zone. And Morris is still down there sort of jammed up underneath the covering. And now he's up.
Of course, we see him in the end zone now. Cooper there's coming off a block. The play is really over, and he gives him that one more sling. And I think, he knew it was a touchdown. And you play defense, you don't want that to happen. You don't want the guy to get in there. And then when he does, sometimes those things happen just out of frustration.
I think that's exactly right. He knows it. Teammates know it. Fans know it. Everybody knows it.
I think they took him off to the sideline, Evan Cooper there, and they talked to him, and then they put him back in just to make sure that he keeps his composure. It was still a pretty good run. Watch Bavaro there. He just shades his man to the outside. You see, it started to the right. He got a push on his man. Then he turned him the other way so that Morris could cut back.
Allegre for the extra point. Rutledge holding. 7-0 Giants. 10:20 left to play in the first half, and the Giants have taken the lead 7-0.
AT&T is in success stories for small.
Giants over the Eagles. 10:20 left to play. First quarter. In career rushing touchdowns, Joe Morris has just taken over second place. Moved ahead of one former teammate of mine, and just behind another former teammate of mine.
But it took your former teammates a lot more years
longer
to do it than it did Joe Morris.
It won't be long.
Of course, it was less games. I know that.
Allegre kicked off from midfield because of that penalty against Morris. And the ball goes out of the end zone. The Eagles start from the 20. Next Sunday here on CBS, the NFL Today starts at 12:30. The Bears will be at Atlanta. Tom Zach started for the Bears today, but at the end of the game, the Bear quarterback was Doug Flutie.
Well, you know that when Mike Ditka signed Doug Flutie, that he was going to find a way to get him in the game. Right here, that next week, Jim McMahon's going to start again.
Supposed to be back. Latasi starts the other way, and somebody really nailed Lawrence Taylor. Nick Hayden, I think, put the hammer on Hayden. They still lost 5 on Taylor. They still lost 5 yards.
I'll tell you, number 56 is a marked man. I mean, that's the guy that they're going to get. He had a great game against them last time. Now watch him. Jaworski tries to get him, and then the lineman comes off. You see Jaworski? Jaworski threw a block at the bottom of him.
Carson comes over to make the stop. And now there's a penalty against the Giants. Lawrence Taylor looking on. Still not sure about. It was a personal foul called against the Giants. I know that, but I'm not sure against whom. First and 10 Eagles. Jaworski looks right. Now looks left. Is sacked by Lawrence Taylor. With help from Eric Dorsey.
I think the last thing you want to do is fire up Lawrence Taylor. Watch from the top of the right-hand screen. Here he's going against Joe Conwell. He hits Conwell, then he comes back inside against Nick Hayden. So that time, Taylor took on 2 offensive linemen. Conwell first, and then boom, then Hayden, and then got the sack. That's doing it the hard way.
That'll make it 2nd and 14. The ball at the 25, and the Eagles call a timeout with 9:39 left to play in the first half. The Giants lead it. It's been tough so far, but the Giants lead 7-0. 9:39 left to play first half.
And Ditka's trying to keep the back-to-back Super Bowl dream alive. The turbulent Bears face the Falcons next Sunday on CBS Sports.
7-0 Giants over the Eagles. 9:39 left to play. The Eagles have it at their own 25, 2nd and 14. Out of the pocket, chased and hammered by Carson. Another flag.
That's a bad looking flag. That thing looks like it's been used. Look at that thing. It's
like it's been out in the wind a while. Against the Giants. I think they jumped off sides first, and now they've called defensive holding. Flag looks like something you'd carry on the aerial of your truck. Freddie Wyant, the referee. Randall Cunningham warming up on the sideline behind the Eagle
holding
bench.
number 56. First down.
Against Lawrence Taylor.
I'll tell you, Taylor's gotten fired up. Let's watch what's happened here. Here we're going to see 62, Nick Hayden. See, here Jaworski throws him there. Hayden gets him right there. I think that play really got him fired up. Now here he comes on the next play. Watch, takes on the tackle. Boom, he takes on the guard. Whack, he gets Jaworski. Then, of course, he gets a holding penalty. But I think that one got all those burning things you got in your body fired up.
Safe to say he's involved. He's on the left side this time. Play goes up the middle, not very much. Maybe a yard. We're live at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, the home of the Eagles. It rained almost all day. It's stopped now. 8:59 left to play in the first half. That's the way things have taken place so far. Jeff Hostetler, the third quarterback, blocked that punt. Morris scored the touchdown. Both teams have missed a field goal. Second down and 9. Jaworski incomplete. Intended. Jackson, no interference is ruled. It's Mike Quick, not Jackson. Jackson was on the other side. Perry Williams
was arguing there that Quick pushed him. Usually when you see a play like that and it's close, it's usually the offensive guy. Watch here, you see Quick's hand? Yeah, Quick did. He pushed Perry Williams right by him. Usually when they jump up, it's the offensive guy. Perry Williams was right.
The new quarterback, the long yardage quarterback for the Eagles, Randall Cunningham. 8.5 minutes left to play. He is usually put in this situation by Buddy Ryan. It's 3rd and 9, 3rd and long. He looks at a lot of those. Here comes a safety blitz. All intended for Jackson. Cunningham saw it coming. Perry Williams, the defender. And the Eagles will have to punt.
That's a tough thing for Randall Cunningham, though, you know, coming in on 3rd down because he has more mobility, and they figure you're going to get the big pass rush. We see the Giants see it. They give him the rush. He gets it off, but it's not complete. Of course, he's had the Eagles lead the league in being sacked 46 times. 18 of them have been against Jaworski and 24 against Cunningham.
He's in there in those blitzing situations. Telchik back to punt. McConkey deep. They got everybody picked up this time. McConkey going to have to let it bounce. Says get away from it. And the Eagles down at the Giant 35. 32-yard punt, no return. 8:17 left to play in the first half. The Giants lead the Eagles 7-0. Games in your area. Going back to that last punt.
Of course, anytime you get a quarterback on special teams, after he blocks a punt, they're going to throw him around. See that? Spagnola just took Hostetler and threw him about 7 yards. Get off the field, punter.
Sims to Navarro. Complete down the middle. Navarro inside the Eagle 30. Gary Cobb again back there closest to Navarro. cover him with a linebacker, and you're going to get burned.
See, they're using that double zone where both safeties come out of the middle. Then that means that the linebackers have to get on him. Cobb was number 50, and he really, in essence, on that play ends up man for man because the two safeties are deep.
First down, Giants. The give is to Morris. Morris hammers upfield to about the 22. Evan Cooper and Andre Waters again on the stop. Carthen, a good block.
Let's watch what happened on that play before. Here's Bavaro. He's going to be covered by a linebacker as he comes here, and the safeties get out of the middle. Once the safety comes out here, that's going to open up this middle area for Bavaro. See the safety rotate to this side? We can stop it now. See, the safety was over here, and Bavaro was in the middle. 2nd
and 4, Miller in motion. This is Carthen's first carry of the day. And he pounds down inside the 20. Seth Joyner on the stop. Along with Terry Hogue, he's down to about the 17. Gain of 5 for Carthen.
There's a lot of talk going on down there. You notice that? I think you get that in these division rivalry games. They will always be more talk than the non-division games.
Tony Dorsett just scored on a 13-yard run for Dallas to put them ahead of the Raiders, 10-3. 6:25 left to play at Veterans Stadium. The Giants on the move, and Morris behind and blocking is hit at about the 15. Flag down. Gain of 3. Cobb on the stop. Holding against the Giants.
Holding, number 61.
Chris Godfrey is number 61. Been bothered by a bad ankle, but playing nevertheless.
I think Chris Godfrey has been playing very well. I think that whole offensive line has. You know, Brad Benson, you never talk much about him. And you see Billiard, Oates, Godfrey, Nelson. I think they've been doing an outstanding job.
1st and 20 back at the Eagle 27. Sims to throw. If he has time, and he doesn't. Greg Brown with the Eagles' 2nd sack and Brown's 2nd sack.
Brown gets around Brad Benson on that one. Watch, he's just going to run right upside him. See, he starts to the outside, gets that right hand in the back, pushes him beyond him, and then keeps coming. But once you can get those long arms behind the guy that's trying to block you, then you can push him towards you or pull him away to make that move beyond, if any of that makes sense.
Well, actually, what you do, I guess, John, is just use the other player's weight to help you get by.
That's what you do. When you can get your arm beyond him on his back, that's how you beat him in pass protection.
Bobby Johnson split wide to the left, McConkey to the right. Sims fakes to Morris. Up the field he goes, Bavaro. Bavaro is hit by Seth Joyner. A gain of 17 gets him back into field goal range. This is one tough guy right here.
Hey, he doesn't go down easily, but I think when the Giants were able to hit some of those outside passes, even though one was to Joe Morris, I think that then opened up the middle for him again. Then they started using double zones, gave him that middle. Now they can get Bavaro back in there. Now they can come back running with Joe Morris. I think their whole offense will fit together.
It'll be 3rd and 11. Sims back. Pass is intercepted by the Eagles, by Roynell Young. Down at about the 17-yard line. Intended for Solomon Miller.
Bill Sims is probably saying, why did I go to that one? I was doing so well to Bavaro. I have to hit one to the outside receiver. He wasn't open. Roynell Young, man-to-man coverage, perfect coverage. Solomon Miller just didn't get open. Solomon Miller doesn't deserve to have the ball being thrown to him then, because he didn't do anything to beat Roynell Young, who everyone said is having his best year of his career.
So it's first down, Eagles, and Jaworski is back in at quarterback. First and 10, Philadelphia at their own 12. Handoff to Crawford. Crawford outside the 25 and out of bounds at about the 26 by Terry Kennard. This guy is 235 and solid.
And the two things that Buddy Ryan likes about him is he's from Oklahoma and he's tough. Of course, Buddy's from Oklahoma. You know how that is. Everyone, you know, like you go to Arkansas, everyone from Arkansas is tough. You're from Oklahoma, everyone from Oklahoma is tough. But then when you're 6'2", 235 and tough, it's pretty good to like him.
You can be from anywhere.
Arkansas or Oklahoma.
Jaworski, look out. Jaworski ducks under the first man. Reasons was the second man. Lawrence Taylor was there. And Perry Williams came from the outside. The fourth sack, and Jaworski gets up limping.
That was that cornerback blitz where Perry Williams comes from the outside. Jaworski heard you say, look out. And he ducked. Williams went, boom, right over the top of him. But Reasons was there next. I'll tell you, that one always catches him. You know, that was from the outside, but watch the rest of it. There's Taylor on the inside, Marshall coming from the outside. Taylor gets him after Williams dove over.
And on the bottom of all that is Jim Burt.
Burt is on the bottom of everything, always on the bottom of all stuff.
Second down. They need about 18. Jaworski recovered. I think Jackson ran out of bounds. Even if the pass had been caught, Elvis Patterson on the coverage.
It's an interception.
It is an interception. The white hat I saw fly out of there. That meant he went out of bounds. And here's the interception by Patterson.
Watch, Patterson is going to push Kenny Jackson out of bounds. Now Jackson can't come back in and receive. But Patterson can and does intercept. So that white hat meant that Jackson can't come back in and catch the ball. That was a great play by Patterson. Knocked the guy out of bounds and intercepted. What more do you have to do?
Can't do it much better. Miller comes in motion. And Sims gives to Morris, and he's got a slot. Cut down inside the 30 at about the 29. A gain of 6. Andre Waters and Roynell Young made the stop.
You know, I would bet you, everyone talks about Joe Morris being small, 5'7", but he's real strong. We know all that. But I bet you, if you could take physics, like he's about 5'6", then you put 200 pounds in 5'6". I bet that's stronger than 250 pounds in 6'2", or 280 pounds in 6'7". You know what I mean?
Yeah. How long do I have to work it out?
Well, some guy in physics can do that, I think.
Here's Carthon straight ahead. Still shoving and pushing. If they mark it where he wound up, he has a first down. Terry Hogue finally wound up on the bottom of the pile.
Tell you one thing, in physics, though, they don't have to block. In physics, they just run. See, now here's Morris. He comes in, he sees the guy free, but the guy is a defensive lineman. And he thought, holy moly, I don't want any part of that deal. But he still, got down in there a little.
Still pushing. First down, Giants. 2:25 left in the first half. The ball's at the Eagle 24. Carthon again. Has some room to the outside. And again, he hammers down for good yardage. A gain of 8 for Maurice Carthon. Cobb finally made a stop.
Carthon did something that Joe Morris does. You take that thing up into the middle, there's no hole, and then bounce it out.
We'll get the 2-minute notification to both Bill Parcells and Buddy Ryan now. Giants leading 7-0 with 2 minutes left to play in the first half at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
MCI. Communications for the next 100 years.
Let's watch that run of Maurice Carthon again. He's going to start here, but end up over here, the way Joe Morris does. Now watch what. Look, he starts a run to the left, Now, right now, he sees this. He sees he got a block here, here, here. The only guy left right here is Reggie White, but Joe Morris will get him, and now Carthon can bounce all the way around it. See, they got him there. Boom, Joe Morris gets his little block there, and Carthon takes a play that's supposed to go in the middle, outside right.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 2. McConkey moves, Morris gets the carry, and Morris tries to get back to the outside. Very nearly breaks it. Seth Joyner made the stop. Coming up at the half, don't forget, Brent Musburger, Irv Cross, and former Giant coach Allie Sherman with scores and highlights from around the league. All back in the studio in New York. First down, Giants. They're at the Eagle 13. Clock running with 1:25 left to play in the first half. Giants lead it 7-0. Sims to Morris. Morris burrows his way down inside the 10 to about the 7. Ken Clark and Reggie White finally made sure he stayed down. Score is 7-0. Total offense 211 for the Giants, 49 for Philadelphia. Giants down, going for more. 2nd and 4. Less than a minute left to play first half. Morris again. Hit it about the 5. Terry Hogue and Greg Brown and Gary Cobb all there. They'll call a timeout and stop the clock. 2-yard gain. Giants will have 1 timeout remaining now. And while they take that timeout, let's run down some of the other scores. New Orleans upset the Rams 6-0. Jets over Atlanta 28-14. New England 30, Indianapolis 21. Redskins beat Green Bay to stay at least tied for first in the NFC East. Buffalo over Pittsburgh. Welcome to Marv Levy. Kansas City over Seattle. Houston beat Cincinnati. Minnesota 24-10 over Detroit. The Giants play there next week. Chicago 23-3 over Tampa Bay. Don't forget the Giants, as I said, will go to Minnesota next week. 12:30 Eastern time. It begins with the NFL today and a red-hot quarterback they'll face. And what Bill Parcells said to us yesterday, Minnesota not only has a hot Tommy Kramer, they have an excellent defense.
You know, I thought it was surprising that the day before the Eagle game that Bill Parcells was talking about the Minnesota Vikings, even thinking about the Vikings. So, you know what he's doing now. I'll bet you that sometime this week he took a peek to see what he was going to have to go against next week.
I would imagine he did and has. And it might be a little bit more than a peek.
It may be a peek that caused a scare when you see Tommy Kramer. The way, I mean, he's one of those guys that can throw 5 touchdown passes.
3rd and 1 at the 5 with 41 seconds left to play. McConkey goes in motion. The handoff, as you would expect, to Morris. He's going to be close to a first down. Again, Terry Hogue up to make the stop.
I think that's going to be a 4th down. It's going to be an interesting decision for Bill Parcells here, because I don't think he made that pass.
No, he didn't.
He was in the I formation as he was way deep.
They have 1 more timeout remaining. I think Parcells is going to wait, run it down, then take the timeout, and then send his field goal team in. That's what he's indicating. Wait till it gets down to 3 or 4 seconds, and then call your timeout.
You know, that could be a big lift for the Eagles. It's something that the Giants, you know, when you go in the locker room, you like to have the big play, the momentum going your way. You know, there's always a possibility down here in this situation where you have less than a couple yards of a fake field goal.
Well, you know, they did it to the Eagles in the first game, and Rutledge threw a touchdown pass to Harry Carson. I'm sure they're aware of that. Allegre comes on.
I wonder if the Eagle defense is going to be pointing out Harry Carson. Watch Carson for the pass. Watch Carson for the pass. I would think that they probably won't come with a big rush here because of that.
And because it's such a short field goal, I think you go ahead and kick away.
Well, as you always said, you can call them short field goals. You just can't call them chip shots because there's no such thing as a chip shot or an automatic to a kicker.
It's like a short putt in golf. They're all tough. This will be from 22 yards away. Allegre with Rutledge holding. Giants. A struggling first half, but dominated by the Giants. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Giants 10 and the Eagles nothing.
Places and by